Hello and thank you. I'm John McLeod with Adex Systems and here to talk to you today about Adex and our EIFS or EIFS assemblies. So Adex is a Canadian company. We have about 7 Adex stores across Canada. These are Adex material stores, and we have about 60 different distribution stores across Canada that we sell out of. And just to talk to you today about our EIFS systems and what is EIFS. Some people pronounce it EIFS. It's an acronym, EIFS, and it stands for Exterior Insulation and Finish Systems. And these are some of the components of that system. Starting with the substrate, we're going on with a flashing and transition membrane, liquid applied weather resistant barrier, an adhesive layer that we embed our GD insulation board into, and then we coat that with a non-combustible base coat and reinforce it with a fiberglass mesh for durability, and then we apply a primer and finish coat. So it's an entire cladding system starting with the air barrier and including the insulation component and finishing with the a decorative finish coat on top. So some of the major advantages of an EIFS system on projects is first and foremost the airtight membranes. So these can be both vapor permeable or vapor retarding membranes that we offer. They're liquid applied, so they're seamless and structural, adhering to the substrate. And this is going to help eliminate that airflow through the building envelope. Next advantage is that continuous insulation. We hear a lot of talk about CI and reducing the number of thermal breaks that we have within the building. So having that continuous layer of insulation is just like your winter coat in wintertime. You're trapping the heat inside, and this is one of the big advantages of an EIFS system. And we all know that that exterior insulation is the most effective when we put it on the outside of the building. So just looking at a thermal image of a house with just batt insulation inside the cavity, and then one on the right-hand side with exterior insulation. The next advantage that EIFS has is moisture management. So the insulation boards actually have a 10 millimeter drainage cavity, so it allows for moisture to migrate through the system should it get behind the cladding system. These are all dual barrier systems, so the skin of the system actually takes the most weather abuse, but there is that backup system that's going to allow for moisture drainage should it get into the assembly. And then durability. So we have a variety of different fiberglass meshes that are embedded into the base coat during installation. And we put armor meshes into high traffic areas. So that's going to allow for the typical abuse that you would expect in those high traffic areas. We have bird resistant coatings. So we all know that woodpeckers affect places like the Okanagan, southern Alberta. And so we have a product called Graphics Coat that is bird resistant. And then we also have, EIFS is expanding into other claddings where we have an adhered brick and stone system. So our Adex ABS system where we actually adhere veneers to the EIFS assembly. Lastly, fire resistance. So EIFS systems go through full-scale S134 fire tests. We can do large projects. We've done 30-story high-rises, for example, as well as the base coats are tested to an S114 non-combustibility test. And for those really stringent walls where we require no combustible materials, such as walls that only allow for less than 10% unprotected openings, we have EIFS systems now that have mineral fiber as the insulation component. There's a code within Canada for EIFS. It's Cannual C S716. You can find that in the building code, referenced in the building code. CCMC, the Canadian Construction Materials Centre, they use that code to test all the materials. EIFS, because it has so many products in an assembly, we go through quite a rigorous amount of testing to meet these evaluations. And so the scale of the types of projects that EIFS is used on is everything from single-family, multi-family projects, high-rises, and all sorts of unique infrastructure projects like schools, water towers, et cetera. So just looking at how the system goes together and the major components, it starts with that airtight membrane where we seal up the sheathing joints. And they spray or trowel on the airtight membrane. That drainage board, you see the drainage pattern in the back of the board. That's going to allow for moisture to travel through. And that's adhered on using a cement adhesive. Protected with a acrylic base coat using fiberglass mesh. So you kind of get an idea and see how the assembly all goes together and wraps around your building. And a big advantage of EIFS is the number of finish coats that we have on the exterior. So we can do different types of stencils, older Venetian style, very unique mosaics, as well as your standard finish coats, which it tints up a lot like paint products, so colors are pretty much endless. This is a project in BC, in Burnaby. This is a triplex. The nice thing with the blower door tests, they received a 0.47 in their testing. And this uses our Adex RS system. And I believe it was a 5-inch system on the exterior. And this is another project, the Orion in Pemberton. This uses more traditional construction, 2x6 construction with a 6-inch EIFS system on the exterior. Blower door tests of 0.3, and the same developer, they've gone on to do the Oso and Golden with similar results, a 0.3 in their air changes per hour. So really airtight, great way. What the developer really likes about the system is it's relatively lower cost to him, so he's able to deliver projects that are lower, that are better thermally efficient at a lower price than what people are currently building for. Our website, adex.ca, you can find specifications, details, technical data sheets, and safety data sheets as well. And I thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoy the day.